I think it's time to finally admit it, and I know this is going to hurt a lot of people. Believe me, sometimes it pains me, but we are living in the Logan Paul era. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. I'm Travis. I thank you for checking out this video. Hey, if you're new to this channel, welcome in. I ask that you please take a couple seconds to consider subscribing to this channel. We put out wrestling content every single week. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about everything that went down at King and Queen of the Ring, PLE, that happened in Saudi Arabia. What a night. What a night. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you're all here checking out this video. If you don't mind, just giving a like to this video, leaving a comment, your thoughts about the show, how you felt about what happened. Did you want things to go a different way? But before we get into all that, let's start talking about some of the things that happened at King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring. We won't cover literally every single thing. I just want to talk about some key moments. Right out of the gate, I got to talk about what happened with the Dominic, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch thing. If you've watched my other videos, I did not think Liv Morgan was going to win the championship tonight or today, whatever time you're watching this King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it. I actually thought Becky Lynch would win at this show, and then she would lose it to Liv Morgan in maybe the next show or the show after that. Like, I had a feeling Liv was going to win the championship. I just didn't think it was going to be right now, which makes me think some things, because for weeks leading up to this pay-per-view, PLE, we all thought, I mean, at least I did, that Liv Morgan was going to end up with Dominic as far as, like, joining forces, or he was going to take her as like a new love interest, or she was going to join Judgment Day from within and kind of make it implode. I had no idea that this whole time, and you think about it, out of all the backstage segments where they go face to face, Dom and Liv Morgan, or in the background you see them both leaving the same room at the same time, have I just been watching it wrong? Have I just been watching it the way I'm not supposed to watch it? Because in this match, Dominic appears in the ringside when it was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Becky looks like in our face, she's just like, "What's Dom doing here?" The announcers are like, "Hey, what's Dom doing here?" All that kind of stuff. So you're thinking, all right, here's the moment. Here's the moment where Dom's going to help Liv Morgan win. And come to find out, Dom slides a chair in the ring, but he slides it towards Becky Lynch, and I'm like, well, that was painfully obvious. Why would he? And then the look on his face, it's like he was trying to tell Becky, yeah, use it. So I'm thinking, whoa, is Dom like turning here? Are we getting a face Dom? Like, what is this? Is Dom not hanging up or hanging out with Liv? Are they not hooking up? Are they not linked up here? Are they not working together? What's going on? I had no idea what was going on. Liv Morgan eventually she did a DDT to Becky Lynch on the chair, and she ends up winning the match by using the chair somehow. Like, I mean, not physically hitting her with a chair, but planting Becky Lynch's face on the chair. She wins, becomes the new women's champion, and then I'm thinking, look at Dom's face. He looks like he was so upset about it. I had no idea what was going on here. Like, I thought Dom was going to help Liv win, but instead he looks like he wasn't trying to. And then I had to go look on like X and like Facebook to see why was this so confusing for me. And apparently before the show, Dom walked up to Liv and they did not seem happy to see one another. And she asked what Dom was doing there. Dom said, "I flew all the way to Saudi Arabia to make sure you don't win the championship." And once I saw that, this was after the match had happened, I was like, okay, now it all makes sense. Then I started thinking, so what must have happened was that Rhea Ripley must have told Dominic, okay, I don't like Becky, I don't like Liv, but I rather Becky have the title than Liv win the title, because if Liv wins the championship, then Liv accomplished what she was trying to do, which was take everything away from Rhea Ripley, blah, 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 whatever, all that kind of stuff. So she must have told Dom, I don't care what happens or what you do, just make sure Liv doesn't walk out with that championship. And she did. So it backfired on Dom, and I think this is going to be something that plays into it later on when Rhea Ripley comes back. I think she's going to be upset that Dom failed, basically, is what it was. He was supposed to make sure that Liv didn't win, and she won. So I still think Rhea's going to come back as a babyface, and I think Dom's going to be a heel here still. And then Dom's going to end up with not being with Liv and not being with Rhea. That's just what I think anyway. But who knows what I think, because I was wrong on multiple things during this King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring show tonight. I predicted a few things to happen, and I got to tell you, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, which I always will be, I was wrong on like everything. And Part of me likes that because it's unpredictable, and like I feel like I know kind of what WWE is trying to do after watching it for my whole life. But in the other part, it shows that I don't know what's going to happen, because that's the point of predicting things. You guess, and you try to paint out what you think is going to happen, and then when it doesn't happen, you kind of feel a little satisfied. You're like, well, cool, because now they're keeping me on my toes, and now I can't be like, well, I saw that coming. Even though there's things that I think I see coming, there's things that I don't. A couple things to touch on real quick. That triple threat, Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable was a fantastic triple threat match. Everybody looked great. I mean, to me, this was kind of like a mini coming out party for Bronson Reed. I think he shined in this match. He looked amazing. And what happened there towards the end when Otis was he was conflicted, didn't want to really clothesline Sami Zayn. He was back and forth. Gable gets in his face, slaps him, do your job, do what I told you to do kind of thing. And then Otis went to go deliver a clothesline. Sami Zayn ducks. He hits Gable. And at first, Otis cheered. He was excited, but then he realized what he did. He clotheslined Master Gable. So this is going to be a continuing, developing story here. I hope they don't drag it on for too long, because I really do want to see Gable with the Creed brothers, but I don't want to rush things. So I just hope it gets the proper story, the proper turn. I hope it does well. I hope it does good for Otis. I hope Otis comes out of this with something, because once Gable leaves Otis, then it's like Otis is by himself, and you're kind of just like, now what? What does Otis do? Can he survive on his own as a single star, or will he go back into a faction somewhere or a tag team? I don't know. I really do enjoy Otis. I think a lot of the fans do. So I hope nothing but great things for him. Only time will tell, though. Speaking of being wrong on some stuff, here's one of the things I was wrong on. I'm not mad that I'm wrong, because I enjoyed the outcome. I was just upset about how I was wrong about it, because to be honest, I'm trying to gain a good following here, right, on YouTube. I'm trying to get everybody in. I'm trying to get all the wrestling fans in on here. And if you guys saw me pick some stuff right, you'd be like, all right, this guy is legit. He knows what he's talking about. But, man, I got a couple things wrong. I got the things that I thought were going to happen tonight. I don't think any single one of them happened, other than maybe Gunther winning and Sami Zayn winning. And, I mean, other than the obvious things. Like, I really wanted Lyra to win. I think she would have been an awesome Queen of the Ring. I think it would have done great for her. But hey, I can understand, and I'm not mad that Nia won. I actually do like Queen Nia. I think it's great. She gets a championship match now against Bayley at SummerSlam, so that's cool to look forward to. Lyra, as far as her, I don't know where it leads her, because if Lyra won, then you could have easily had done Lyra versus Liv with Becky Lynch as an element in that feud, or you could have done Lyra versus Becky if Becky retained, which they have a long history. They faced each other in NXT, so I really thought Lyra would win this thing. Turns out she didn't. I just hope that they book Lyra nicely. I think she has a great entrance. She's great in the ring. She's got a good charisma. I mean, she's proven she can be a future star in the women's division for WWE for sure. I have 100% no doubt about it. That's why I thought this would have escalated her and kind of boosted her up by winning this Queen of the Ring, but hey, it's fine. I like it better anyway when the Queen and King of the Rings are like bad guys, heels. I like that way better, so we'll see what happens. Happy for Lyra, though. She had a chance to shine, and she looked great. We had Gunther versus Randy Orton for the King of the Ring, and Gunther wins this one. Great match between the two. The crowd was hype for this one, chanting, "This is awesome," before the match even actually really began. Like, it was just on fire, and I just think that's cool that the fans could appreciate too. I mean, this was a huge match. This could have main evented any show anywhere. The feud between Randy and Gunther, if we ever got a feud like that, a proper one, it would feed families. It was really good. I do enjoy these two at it, and the whole time I was just like, man, you wait until Gunther hits that first chop on Orton. I can't wait to see Orton's reaction. And let me tell you, when he hit that chop, it was gratifying. Randy Orton sold it nicely. And so Gunther wins. He becomes King of the Ring. He did not put on the crown for some reason. Nia had to get on one knee and get the crown put on her. And I'm like, okay, so is Gunther going to do the same thing? Nope. Triple H just hands him the crown, and then Gunther doesn't even put it on his head. The whole time I'm just watching like, are you going to put it on? I don't know if it looked too big. I don't know if he just doesn't want it on his head. Don't know. But maybe Gunther's just too cool for that. He doesn't need it. He don't need a crown on his head. One thing I did notice, though, and I wonder if they're going to say anything about it, it looked like Randy Orton's shoulder was up from the mat. So I don't know if that was on accident or if it was purposely done. Corey Graves sounded like he kind of hinted at that, saying like, "Oh, I'm going to need to see a replay of that and from a different angle," because in the other angle that they showed in the replay, you don't really see it as much. But in live, when the one they took when it actually happened, you could see the Orton's shoulder was up. I don't know if this is something they're going to use. I don't know if this is done on purpose where they're going to play it back and they're going to have these two, fight again or not. But maybe Gunther needs something to do. Randy needs something to do until we get to SummerSlam where Gunther gets his title match. But these two are on opposite shows, so maybe they don't even clash at all. Who knows? I think it was done. I would like to say it was done accidentally. I don't think we'll know for sure if it gets traction and if WWE talks about it from here. Obviously, it was done on purpose. But if this is something where it was an accident that they're kind of trying to slide under the rug and not really talk about, then they didn't mean for that to happen. Either way, Gunther is your King of the Ring. He's my King of the Ring. He's our King of the Ring, and I'm pretty happy about that because Gunther versus Priest for that World Heavyweight Championship, which I would imagine. Well, I was going to say I would imagine would happen at Bash in Berlin, but it looks like it's going to happen at SummerSlam. It'd be cool if Gunther won it in Berlin, but hey, it's fine. It happens at SummerSlam, and that'll be great. Before we get there, though, there was an announcement by Triple H, some breaking news that Drew McIntyre has finally been cleared, and then Triple H made the match. Drew McIntyre versus Priest, June 15th in Scotland at Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, hear me out. I know it'll be Drew McIntyre's hometown, and I want to guess something and get it right? That's the fun part of guessing and predicting things. As of right now, before we move forward with anything else, before any other promos get done, before we get face-offs with anybody, I'm just putting it out there. What if in Scotland, Drew McIntyre versus Priest, what if CM Punk shows up and costs Drew McIntyre that match, and then Priest retains as World Heavyweight Champion, and then Priest goes on to SummerSlam and loses to Gunther at SummerSlam. That way, you could have Priest versus Gunther for a title, and then you can have Punk versus Drew at SummerSlam. If Punk will be back before then, I think he will be. If you can get Punk versus Drew at SummerSlam, and then you can get Priest versus Gunther at SummerSlam, that's two huge matches, one for a title and one for without a title. Like it's perfectly done. I think we can definitely get there. I would love to see it. People in Scotland will be pretty pissed, not going to lie. But I think overall it'll add to the story. It'll add to the intensity of the feud, and I kind of really want to see that happen. Let's get into the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. I thoroughly enjoyed this match, and I was just telling my fiance that if you were somebody who didn't know who Logan Paul was, if you didn't know he was a influencer, a YouTuber, a celebrity, whatever, and you just watched this match for the first time, this is your first time watching wrestling, and it's the first time seeing Logan Paul, and it was your first time seeing Cody Rhodes, you would have never guessed that Logan Paul used to be a YouTuber or a celebrity or whatever. You would have never guessed. You would have always assumed that Logan Paul has been a wrestler this whole time. And that is huge props to Logan Paul. Whether we all like him or we all don't like him, I'm going to be honest with you. For the longest time, I have not liked Logan Paul. Outside, before he even came to WWE, before he became a wrestler, was never a fan of his. And honestly, maybe in real life, outside of wrestling, maybe I still am not. But let me tell you what, man, in wrestling and in that ring, I feel like I'm a Logan Paul fan here. I mean, we all have to give this guy his props finally. We have to. He is putting out, look at this. This guy is in a main event match against the company's top star, their top face, Cody Rhodes. He's in the main event facing the top star in the company for the WWE Championship, and he put on a match like that. Now, this is not new. Logan has been putting on great matches for a while now. But man, at some point, we all have to bend and crack a little bit and admit that Logan Paul deserves to be here. He deserves to get some recognition. He deserves to get championship matches. This dude is a star, whether we like him or not. It's just facts now. This guy can hang with anybody, and he's put on great promos. He's gotten people invested. He's got charisma like you wouldn't guess. Everything looks so natural to him. He sells. He does moves well. He moves around the ring well. I mean, flying off of turnbuckles into the announce table. I mean, what else do you want out of this guy? He is doing it right now. We got to give him his flowers. Logan Paul, hats off. I would take mine off for you, but my hair is nuts right now, so I'm not going to. But Logan Paul, hats off. Great match. And That's where I'm wrong again with another guess. I really thought the Wyatt faction was going to show up here, and that actually made me more disappointed than anything else in the entire night, because once I was wrong about Lyra, I was like, okay, at least maybe I got the Wyatt thing later on, which I was really hoping to see. It made me worry just a little bit when on SmackDown they announced that it wasn't for both titles, because then you can kind of see how there would be an outcome of this match where Cody wins, because it's like, well, at least he won't become a double champ, and it's for just the WWE Championship. So, but if both titles were on the line, I feel like I would have been more convinced and more believable that the Wyatts would show up. But since it became just for the WWE Championship, I was like, maybe Cody Rhodes just wins this. But at the very least, had Cody Rhodes won, I was hoping for, at least after the match, that the Wyatt group showed up and attacked Cody, or attacked them both or whatever. But didn't happen. Little bummed out about it. I know when the show ended and they started replaying the whole reel of the whole show, I was like, damn it. I just wanted them to show up. I was bummed about it, which is cool, because that's what I mean. It's a little unpredictable. I was really thinking they were going to show up. I was convinced 100% that it was going to be here tonight. So where will it be from here? No idea. I think we're going to get more clues. We got more tonight during the show. I hadn't gotten to see them yet. But, I hope they don't drag it on for too long, because the QR codes are cool and all, but don't do it for too long, because now it's starting to feel like it's getting a little too long. These guys, this faction has to show up like this week or the next couple of weeks or something. I really hope they don't drag this on before it gets too stale and people are like, all right, we get it. Where are you? I want to thank you guys for checking out this video. Shout out to you. Props to you. If you haven't subscribed yet and you enjoy wrestling content, this is the channel for you. I ask that you please subscribe to this channel. Please leave likes on this video. It does well for the video. It does well for me. It does well for the channel. It helps grow our community. I hope you guys understand this. It helps grow our community. If you like the video, it'll reach other people who are not privy to this channel, and they can check out the channel and see if they like it, and it's just like a snowball thing. Once one person likes it and a few others, then it attracts more people, all that kind of cool stuff. So that is the goal for this channel. I want to grow this into a huge, enormous, the biggest wrestling community on YouTube. So I appreciate everybody who supports the channel. I support all the new subscribers, all the subscribers from day one, all the recent ones, everybody. I love it. I love the comments. I love getting back to y'all. I love talking to you guys. But yeah, until then, y'all, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the next videos next week coming up. There's going to be more to cover, I'm sure. The backlash after this PLE. Let's see what happens on Raw and SmackDown, and we'll have things to talk about. Until then, guys, until we yeet again, stay bitter.